Hi there, this is Kathryn Zeigler. I live in Kentucky. My father was Fred Furrow III, and he was in the United States Army and served in Vietnam from 1968 to 69. During his tour of duty, he was exposed to the chemical dioxin, and closer to the end of his life, he suffered complications from exposure to dioxin, and that's called Agent Orange syndrome. He was actually awarded a stipend from the U.S. government as a part of a fund to help him during his struggles and for his brave service. There are lots of folks out there who have been exposed to dioxin through either their service in the military or potentially, and this is what we're looking at now with me, is the second generation effects of exposure to dioxin and Agent Orange and what's being called second generation Agent Orange syndrome. The hashtag we're using is SGAOS. I am starting a daily vlog to just reach out there to folks that are going through the same thing that I'm going through. We don't have a lot of answers right now, and it's very, very difficult to get medical support for what we do. It's taken me 10 years to find a really good general practitioner and some specialists who are now just delving into all of the autoimmune issues and other issues that I have. I have Hashimoto's disease, which is a condition of hypothyroidism. I have celiac disease. I'm allergic to gluten. I have Raynaud's disease, which is a condition of the hands and feet, depending upon what happens with the weather. I also have fibromyalgia. I have recently tested for diabetes type 2, and I am a very active individual. You know, when I first started having these symptoms, I would go to the doctor and they would tell me, well, you've had, at the time I'd only had 2 children. You've had 2 kids, now I have 3. You're a woman of a certain age, you're getting closer to 40, your hormones are all over the place, and I know that that can cause some of these issues. However, the level of lethargy that I experienced was just out of this world. I mean, there are some days, depending upon what the weather's doing too, I'm like a human barometer, but there are some days that I cannot get out of bed. I generally work from the comfort of my bed because that's the easiest thing for me to do. You know, you hear a lot of people say, well, if you just get up and if you just exercise, you'd feel a lot better. There are some days I can't even lift my legs. It's hard to lift my hands or my arms. I'm trying to record these videos at times when I do feel well so that I can go ahead and get them uploaded, because it might hit in an hour, it might hit in 5 minutes that I just don't have function of some of my normal facilities. I can't do the things that I normally do. I'm 39 years old. I have been in the entertainment industry for over 30 years, since I was a little kid. I'm an actor, director, producer, or writer. Most recently, my husband and I have started a talent agency, and I absolutely love the work. It's one of the things that drives me, along with my 3 amazing kids and my wonderful husband and extended family. Again, however, there are just some days that I'm so tired, and I'm reaching out to those of you who are going through the same thing that I'm going through. We are trying to do the best we can to get some answers and to find some advocates that can help raise awareness and also research and support for people like us, children of Vietnam veterans who their fathers or mothers were exposed to dioxin. Now, currently, you can receive support if you had a female member of your family, your mother, and it has to be your mom, who served in Vietnam, who was exposed to dioxin, and there are certain birth defects that are actually covered. Spina bifida is one of them. What we're working on now is trying to get Congress to change the language of some certain bills that would actually cover a lot of the conditions that are common in folks like us, children who are suffering the second generation effects of exposure to Agent Orange. There are 2 bills right now in the United States Congress. The first one is in the House of Representatives. It's called H.R. 2114, and it actually has provisions to specifically cover those who were in Vietnam at the time that dioxin and Agent Orange was used, and their offspring, folks who also migrated to the United States, and veterans of war, including male veterans. But right now that language only includes the same diseases that are covered for the children of female veterans. What we're working on is trying to get that language changed. We had a meeting with Congressman John Yarmouth here in Kentucky. I tried to reach out to the office of the originator of the bill, of HR 2114, and she was in California, so they encouraged me to speak to my local representative, which is what we did. We set up a meeting and put some steps in place to help try to change that language and bring awareness. Recently, we've learned that there is also a very similar bill in the Senate. It's S901, and that particular bill is just toxic exposure, kind of general toxic exposure to chemicals during wartime, and a lot of other provisions there. So that language is a little more general. However, the fact that there are two bills, both in the House and in the Senate, really does speak to the amount of folks who are now stepping forward and saying, there's something going on in my body, it's not right. The thing that we all have in common is that we have parents who served in foreign wars and were exposed to some sort of chemical agent. We have a group on Facebook. It's a support and education group. It's called Faces of Heroes, and it stands for Fighting Against Chemically Engineered Syndromes. Faces of Heroes. And the reason why I started this is because, being an artist, I wanted to find a creative way to spread the word and to promote education for what's been going on. And we would like your stories. We're starting to look for stories to be able to tell those in creative ways. You don't have to share your name if you don't want to. There's lots of different ways to be able to tell your story without having to reveal your identity. However, if you would like to, that also helps. If you were just curious about this project or want to share your story, you can send us an email at thefaceofahero@gmail.com. thefaceofahero@gmail.com. Again, like our Facebook page, Faces of Heroes on Facebook, and send us an email at thefaceofahero@gmail.com. A part of this vlog, I also want to share my daily struggle. Today's actually been a pretty decent day. It's been raining here in the Ohio Valley, and I'm very achy. In fact, holding this phone hurts like hell. But I'm working from home. I'm working in my bed today, working on some talent agency stuff and also producing this video for you. I wanted to brag on this picture real quick. My father is a photographer, was a photographer, I should say. He passed away last year. And he took this beautiful picture of the Kentucky River. My cousins took him out on a boat, and he did a lot of photography before he passed away. He loved sports photography, he loved nature photography. He's actually featured in the Kentucky Travel Guide. And he did that after he retired from working with the telephone company for a number of years. But he also took some photos in Vietnam. He loved photography from the time he was a little boy, and miss him very, very much. So having this photo close to me and being able to do these vlogs and speaking to you and reaching out to other people who have gone through the same thing, it's healing. It helps. It helps to know that you're not alone. So please remember, you are not alone. You are not crazy. You're not making up these symptoms. You are not well. And it could be because of second-generation effects of chemicals like dioxin or Agent Orange. So thank you for everything that you're doing. The Vietnam War may have ended for the sake of history, but we're still fighting it. So thank you for your service. Thanks so much. Be sure to send us an email, thefaceofahero@gmail.com, and like our Facebook page, Faces of Heroes. Thanks so much, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.